Imagine that beneath a city in Egypt, there might be the tomb of one of the most powerful men in history, Alexander the Great. People have been searching for him for over 2,000 years. Some of the most famous explorers tried to find him, but no one could find him. That is, until an archaeologist named Pepi Papacosta decided that she wouldn't give up until she discovered the truth. Alexander the Great wasn't just a king, he was a legend. He became a ruler when he was just 20 years old and conquered nearly the entire known world. He built cities, won battles, and created an empire that stretched across continents. However, his grand and treasure-filled tomb vanished when he unexpectedly passed away at the age of 32. No one knows exactly where it is or what might be inside. Pepe is on a mission to solve this ancient mystery. She's digging deep under the modern city of Alexandria, Egypt, which was founded by Alexander himself. She believes that the city's streets, parks, and buildings conceal his tomb. Using old maps, ancient texts, and even high-tech tools, she's piecing together clues, like solving a giant puzzle. But searching for something so old isn't easy. She and her team face all kinds of challenges. Water floods the excavation site constantly, threatening to destroy their work. Heavy mud and collapsing tunnels make the dig dangerous. Every day they fight against the forces of nature and time. Alexander's tomb may contain treasures, artifacts, and secrets about his life and death. According to ancient texts, Alexander's mummification resembled that of an Egyptian pharaoh. Some claim that gold and precious jewels adorned the tomb. Others believe it could contain scrolls or writings that reveal unknown stories about his empire. It's like imagining a real-life treasure chest filled with wonders from the past. But his work isn't just about digging up artifacts. It's about her dream and the sacrifices she's made to chase it. She spent years of her life on this search, often away from her family, working long days in difficult conditions. People who doubt the tomb's discovery have even criticized her. But every time she uncovers a new clue, like a piece of pottery or a section of an ancient road, she feels one step closer to her goal. As Pepe's team carefully explores the chamber, they discover even more surprises. There are intricate carvings on the walls, showing scenes from Alexander's life, his victories, his empire, his journey across the world. And then they find a secret compartment. Inside are ancient scrolls, perfectly preserved. These scrolls could reveal how Alexander lived, how he ruled, and even how he died. For centuries, explorers, archaeologists, and even emperors like Napoleon Bonaparte tried to locate Alexander's final resting place. All searches failed. Earthquakes, tsunamis, and urban development buried the ancient royal city of Alexandria, hiding its treasures. However, archaeologist Pepi Papacosta has reignited hope, leading the most detailed search for the tomb yet. She is no ordinary archaeologist. Combining cutting-edge technology and ancient records, she has uncovered pieces of Alexander's world, stunning statues, fragments of ancient roads, and even clues to the city's royal quarter. His journey is not for the faint of heart. Exploring Alexandria's intricate, contemporary infrastructure is akin to searching for a hidden gem amidst a vast expanse of stone. Her team works tirelessly in one of the few areas still open for excavation, the Shalalat Gardens, a massive public park. Here, Pepe has spent over 20 years digging through layers of history, peeling back the city's timeline one trench at a time. Remember to join our community by subscribing to this channel. Alexander's legacy is undeniable. He was not only a military genius, but also a cultural pioneer. Invading Egypt in 332 BCE, people crowned him pharaoh and declared him a living god. He founded the city of Alexandria, envisioning it as a hub where Greek and Egyptian cultures could thrive together. For centuries, the city was a beacon of knowledge and art, home to the legendary Library of Alexandria and one of the ancient world's greatest economies. But as the centuries passed, earthquakes and invasions destroyed much of the city, and Alexander's tomb, believed to be located in the royal quarter, disappeared. Ancient texts like those of the Greek geographer Strabo suggest the tomb was housed in the Sema, a grand mausoleum where Alexander was surrounded by the kings of the Ptolemaic dynasty who ruled Egypt after his death. Strabo depicted a city brimming with magnificent streets and palaces, yet today a significant portion lies beneath the 100 square miles of modern Alexandria. In the Shalalat Gardens, Pepe and her team have unearthed a section of an ancient Roman road, part of a grid system described in an 1866 map by Egyptian astronomer Mahmoud Bey. By overlaying Bey's map with modern satellite images, she has narrowed her search to areas near the intersections of ancient streets. Using electrical resistivity tomography, a technology that maps underground structures, Pepe has identified 14 anomalies, possible archaeological targets. One of these, dubbed E3b, is the largest and most promising. One of the most breathtaking discoveries made during Pepe's excavations was a beautiful marble statue buried beneath Alexandria's modern streets. This ancient sculpture, found deep underground, dates back to the time when Alexander ruled. At first, it seemed like just another piece of stone buried in the dirt, but as the team carefully brushed away the soil, the statue's details began to emerge. Slowly, they uncovered its legs, then the body, and finally, the face. At that moment, they realized it was likely a depiction of Alexander himself. Finding this statue was more than just uncovering a work of art. It proved that the royal quarter of Alexandria, the area where Alexander's tomb was believed to be, still exists beneath the city. This groundbreaking moment confirmed that ancient structures remained intact, awaiting rediscovery. The statue also provided clues about Greek influence in Alexandria. Carved from fine Greek marble, it showcased the detailed craftsmanship of Alexander's time. Its hairstyle, facial features, and clothing were consistent with other known depictions of the legendary ruler, further supporting the idea that it could be connected to him. Another remarkable discovery was the ancient foundations of the city itself. When Alexander the Great founded Alexandria in 331 BCE, he envisioned a grand metropolis that would become a center for learning, culture, and trade. Over centuries, the city grew and changed, and its original layout was lost beneath layers of new buildings, roads, and developments. Pepe and her team managed to unearth traces of the city's earliest construction, revealing how the ancient metropolis was built. These findings included stone streets that Alexander himself may have walked on, remains of the royal quarter where the city's rulers and elites once lived, fragments of walls and buildings showing how the Greeks and Egyptians blended their architectural styles. Finding artifacts and ancient structures isn't just about uncovering the past. It's about understanding history and how civilizations developed. Her discoveries have drawn attention from historians and experts around the world. Alexander the Great was more than just a conqueror. He was a unifier of cultures. His empire, stretching from Greece to Egypt, Persia, and even parts of India, was a melting pot where traditions, art, and knowledge from vastly different civilizations came together. Nowhere was this cultural blending more evident than in the city he founded in 331 BCE, Alexandria, Egypt. Today, as archaeologist Pepe Papacosta searches for Alexander's tomb in the heart of this ancient city, the discoveries she uncovers also reveal a story of cultural intersection that shaped the ancient world. Egypt welcomed Alexander as a liberator when he arrived in 332 BCE. The Persians, who had ruled Egypt, were deeply unpopular. Alexander's arrival wasn't just a military invasion. It marked the beginning of a fusion of two great civilizations. The Egyptians crowned him as pharaoh, adopting their traditions and religious practices. To them, he wasn't just a king, he became a god in human form, blending the image of a Greek warrior with the divine status of Egyptian rulers. One of Alexander's most significant contributions was the founding of Alexandria. which became a crossroads for cultures. Greeks, Egyptians, Jews, and others lived side by side in this bustling city. It wasn't just a place to live, it was a center of innovation and learning. The city's famous Library of Alexandria symbolized this cultural intersection. Scholars from across the empire gathered there, translating texts into Greek, preserving knowledge from places as far away as India and Babylon. The fusion of ideas in Alexandria set the foundation for advances in science, medicine, and philosophy that shaped the ancient world. But the story of cultural blending didn't stop with Alexander's death. After his empire was divided among his generals, Egypt was ruled by the Ptolemaic dynasty, descendants of Alexander's general Ptolemy I. These rulers embraced Egyptian traditions while maintaining their Greek heritage. The kingdom showcased a blend of Egyptian and Greek art, architecture, and religious practices. Greek-inspired motifs decorated temples built in traditional Egyptian styles. Statues combined Egyptian symbols with Greek techniques, creating a unique artistic style that defined the Ptolemaic period. Pepe's discoveries in Alexandria shed light on this cultural intersection. Consider the artifacts she discovered in the Shalalat Gardens, for instance. Amphoras, large clay vessels used to store wine, bear Greek inscriptions but were found buried in Egyptian soil. Fragments of statues feature elements of both Egyptian and Greek craftsmanship. One of her most exciting finds, a small marble goddess figure with golden wings, is a testament to how the two cultures blended. It's likely the statue was imported from Greece but used in Egyptian rituals. Each discovery tells a story of how these two civilizations influenced each other, creating something entirely new. But Alexandria wasn't just a cultural hub, it was also a spiritual one. His decision to adopt Egyptian religious traditions helped him cement his rule over the region. The Egyptians believed their pharaohs were divine, connecting the heavens and the earth. Crowned as pharaoh, he not only ruled Egypt, but also became an integral part of its spiritual fabric. This connection to Egyptian beliefs is one reason historians think his tomb was so important. Not only was it a place to honor him as a king, but it also served as a sacred site to preserve his divine legacy. Manolis Andronikos was a Greek archaeologist with a deep passion for history. He dedicated his life to studying ancient Greece, searching for evidence of great civilizations buried beneath the ground. For many years, Andronikos believed that the ancient capital of Macedonia, Aigai, modern-day Vergina, was home to the royal tombs of Alexander's ancestors. He had a strong intuition that something significant lay beneath the surface, awaiting discovery. In 1977, after years of careful research, his team began to excavate a large burial mound. What they found was beyond their wildest dreams. Are you enjoying the story? Support our channel by clicking the subscribe button. As the excavation continued, Andronikos and his team unearthed a spectacular set of tombs, untouched for thousands of years. Inside, they discovered a golden chest, larnax, containing human bones, believed to belong to Philip II. A magnificent golden wreath, shaped like oak leaves, resting on the remains. Intricately painted walls, showing scenes from the life of the Macedonian kings. Weapons, armor, and finely crafted treasures prove the tomb belonged to someone of great importance. Philip II, Alexander's father, is believed to have possessed the most important tomb, decorated with stunning frescoes and filled with priceless artifacts. Philip was a powerful king who had united Greece and set the stage for his son's legendary conquests. After Andronikos' discovery, some researchers suggested that one of the tombs might have belonged to Alexander the Great himself. Since his final resting place has never been found, some people theorized that his body was secretly brought back to Macedonia and buried alongside his family. However, most historians and archaeologists do not accept this theory. According to ancient texts, Alexander's original burial took place in Egypt, most likely in Memphis, before he relocated to Alexandria. Roman emperors, including Julius Caesar, visited Alexander's tomb, indicating that it remained in Egypt long after his death. Additionally, the artifacts and human remains found in Vergina match the time of Philip II, not Alexander. This suggests that Alexander's father was the true owner of the Grand Tomb, not the famous conqueror himself. Andronikos's work changed history. Prior to his discovery, the precise locations of Macedonia's ancient kings remained unknown. His excavation proved that Vergina was the royal capital of Macedonia and that Philip II was laid to rest there. His findings also helped people understand more about ancient Greek art, culture, and funeral traditions. The golden objects, weapons, and paintings inside the tombs showed the wealth and power of Macedonia's rulers. Historians and archaeologists around the world continue to study this incredible discovery today. Because of his contributions to archaeology, Andronikos became one of Greece's most respected scholars. His discoveries brought international attention to Macedonia's history and made him a legend in the field. For centuries, the story of Alexander the Great has fascinated people worldwide. His legendary conquests, fearless leadership, and mysterious death have inspired countless books, films, and documentaries. From grand Hollywood productions to historical biographies, storytellers have tried to capture the life of the famous Macedonian king and his impact on the world. One of the most famous films about Alexander is Alexander, 2004, directed by Oliver Stone. This movie brings the ancient world to life with Colin Farrell as Alexander, Angelina Jolie as his mother Olympias, and Val Kilmer as his father Philip II. The film follows Alexander's journey from his early days as a prince in Macedonia to his rise as a powerful ruler. It explores his military genius, personal struggles, and ambitions to unite the world. The film showcases breathtaking battle scenes, including his famous victory at Gaugamela against the Persian Empire. It also delves into his complicated relationships with his family, friends, and generals, showing the emotional side of the great conqueror. Though the movie received mixed reviews, it remains one of the most ambitious attempts to tell Alexander's story on the big screen. The detailed costumes, battle strategies, and historical settings make it an exciting watch for those who want to experience the ancient world. Decades before Oliver Stone's film, Robert Rossen directed the 1956 classic Alexander the Great. In this film, Richard Burton played the legendary ruler, capturing his charisma and determination. Unlike the 2004 version, this movie focuses more on his rise to power, his relationships with his generals, and his relentless ambition to conquer Persia. Made in an era before advanced visual effects, the film heavily relies on acting and storytelling instead of massive battle sequences. For fans of old Hollywood films, this version of Alexander's life provides a dramatic and serious look at his leadership and the challenges he faced. Though it may not be as visually spectacular as modern movies, it remains an important part of cinematic history. Unlike traditional films, the upcoming Alexander: The Birth of a God, 2024, takes a different approach. Instead of a fictionalized retelling, this docudrama explores Alexander's transformation from a warrior prince to a ruler seen as divine. This series dives into the historical and cultural aspects of Alexander's reign. The series demonstrates how the priests of Amun declared Alexander a living god after his conquest of Egypt. His belief in destiny, his ambition to rule the known world, and the myth surrounding his divine status make this documentary a must-watch for history lovers. Movies are a great way to experience history visually, but books provide even more detail about Alexander's incredible journey. Some of the most famous works about him include historical biographies and travel-inspired narratives that bring his conquests to life. This book is one of the most detailed biographies ever written about the famous conqueror. Droysen explores Alexander's early life, military campaigns, and how he changed history forever. It describes his strategies, ambitions, and how he influenced cultures across the world. For anyone who wants to go beyond what is shown in movies, this book provides a deep dive into the mind of the great ruler and his lasting impact. This book takes a unique approach by following Alexander's travels across different lands. Instead of focusing only on battles and politics, it looks at the places he visited, the people he encountered, and the cultures he influenced. Readers can imagine walking alongside Alexander's army, experiencing the challenges of marching across deserts, climbing mountains, and entering foreign cities. This book combines history with storytelling, making it feel like an adventure across the ancient world. Alexander the Great's story continues to inspire movies, books, and documentaries. He was a fearless warrior, a brilliant leader, and a visionary who wanted to unite the world. His strategies and ideas shaped future empires, and his influence is still evident today in many parts of the world. If you are enjoying this content, please consider clicking on Super Thanks. This way, you will be encouraging the creation of stories like this. Alexander's legacy will endure through epic films, thought-provoking documentaries, and meticulously researched books. As long as people continue to be fascinated by history, his name will live on as one of the greatest figures who ever walked the earth. Alexander the Great remains one of history's most influential and mysterious figures. From his unmatched military conquests to his vision of a united world, his impact continues to shape cultures, politics, and historical studies. His sudden death in 323 BCE left behind unanswered questions, and his lost tomb remains one of the greatest archaeological mysteries. His Hellenistic influence reshaped civilizations, spreading Greek culture, language, and ideas across vast territories. Even though his empire crumbled after his death, his legacy endures in architecture, philosophy, and global history. Thanks for watching. Join our community by subscribing to this channel. Until the next video.